to elaborate on that, we have another quote from the famous Stephen Hawking, the late Stephen Hawking, God rest his soul. As we've mentioned before, in his last paper before his death, he dealt with this particular topic, the parallel universes or multiverse more generally. The quote, as it says on the slide, it goes, "We are not down to a single unique universe, but our findings imply significant reduction of the multiverse to a much smaller range of possible universes." Forgive me, I'm taken aback by that quote because, like, that man was extraordinary. But moving on, what the parallel universe theory deals with, like an aspect of it, is the brain worlds notion, and this arises from string theory. And this idea, it comes from the possibility of many more dimensions to our world than the 3 of space and 1 of time that we know. The other 3D brains may float in a higher dimensional space. It's like this picture in the background. All those Earths, those are brain worlds. Those are parallel Earths, as you know. Some are so similar to each other, some are so different. We could spend a lifetime trying to distinguish them, as I've said before. But the thing about these brain worlds is that they sometimes slam into each other, and Hawking theorized that these brain universes, like colliding into each other, they cause big bangs, the big bangs that reset universes over and over again. And so basically, this relates to his theory that the Big Bang that created our cosmos, that created us, it not only just impacted our cosmos, but it spawned like the other cosmoses. So there is not just one Big Bang. There's infinitely many of them. Like a Big Bang for each parallel Earth. Is everyone following me so far? Yeah, and last but not least, I've skipped over it. We have a quote from Brian Greene. He's a physicist who did a lot of research on parallel universes, especially in his work, The Hidden Reality. It's an interesting book, but this quote that we've gotten here today, "Our universe is one of potentially numerous slabs floating in a higher dimensional space, much like a slice of bread within a grander cosmic loaf." So basically, these brains, these parallel universes, they're kind of like a slice of bread. You take a loaf of bread and you cut in pieces. They're like different slices, but they're all the same thing. They're both a slice of bread. It's like these Earths. With this, going back to Hawking on the Big Bang spawning numerous Earths, it's kind of like this. Maybe our cosmos was the original Earth, but then the Big Bang happened. Well, actually, now that I mentioned that, our universe, to be more specific, it was just one prime universe. Then the Big Bang happened, and it split it to infinite parallel universes. It's like it's as if God like took a knife and cut the universe into slices. It's like he said to Jesus, "Son, I'm going to have a slice of bread. Want it? Here's a universe." Well, that's how I imagine it. Is everyone following so far? Okay. Yeah. The universe, the multiverse, is a very complex topic, so there's a lot to cover. But what does the multiverse have to do with the course Science and Human Nature? To those of us taking COR-400, we've covered this semester cosmology, the study of the cosmos. And with the multiverse, our cosmos is not the only one out there. With that stated, the question that I've just asked you, in my opinion, it relates back to the Donner universe theory. You know how I said that with each choice we make, we create the multiverse. And I know this sounds a little childless, but we're all humans, right? And it is in our nature to make so many choices, so many different choices. That what makes us unique. That also makes unique these parallel universes that we create. And of course, I'm not saying for sure that the daughter universe theory is correct and that we all create our own worlds, that we're essentially gods. But if that's not the case, there is a world out there, actually, in our minds. Because think back on the big choices that you've made in your lives. I don't want to hear the details, but just think back on them. Like, have you ever thought on those choices, thinking, what would I be like today if I didn't make that choice? If I made the opposite choice, where would I be today? I know that's technically it's not a world where you made the opposite choice, but in a way, you do wonder what life would be like if you made that opposite choice. And the daughter universe theory, like, if you will, represents that. Is everyone following? Okay, moving on. I hope you enjoyed that. Last but not least, the fun part, multiverse. There's a lot of cool comic books and TV shows and movies. Sebastian, would you like to add on that?
Yeah, so it's especially in Rick and Morty, which is my personal favorite of these bullet points. There's a lot that has to do with the multiverse and the plot of the whole show. So any of these bullet points has the multiverse relation within them, and we strongly recommend you guys go watch them, and if you guys have time.
Yeah, especially, yeah. These would all be good to look at over the summer when we're all on break from school. Any questions? Any feedback anyone would like to provide us about our presentation? We're more than open to hearing any questions and your feedback. Going once, going twice, thrice, 6 7/8. Yeah, I guess we have no questions. Here's our part 1 of our bibliography, part 2. And that's our presentation on the multiverse.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you all for coming out today. Is there any other feedback y'all would like to provide us? Anything that threw you off? Anything that we could do better? Mr. Evan Rise Andrews. Evan, do you have a question?
Yeah, aren't some of these theories of the multiverse contradictory?
Indeed, they are. But we thought about talking about how the contradiction between them, but there's just so much with the multiverse that we just only cover like basic theories and the findings and evidence surrounding it.
And that's not to say that each theory is supposed to be applicable at the same time. It's about which one do you trust more? Which one do you favor? Because obviously, like when it comes to a lot of different theories about things, they're going to be contradictory to each other. It's just considering different variables within the theories. If that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
And as our
go ahead.
As our title suggests, everything involved with the multiverse, it's a crisis.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you want to ask anything else?
Well, I was going to say, with the daughter universes, is it specifically about human choice?
Not specifically with the research we've done, but it's basically that. Well, you know how. Sorry, let me start over. With the daughter universe theory, it's basically that with every possible outcome in our universe, that there's at least the different outcome in a separate universe. It's like looking at yourself in the mirror. No, I'm sorry, I'm confusing myself. No, it's not specifically about human choice, but I just took the opportunity to relate that because, like I said, the daughter universe theory stems from our choices, the outcomes of the decisions we make, outcomes of events caused by human beings. Because lately in our universe, almost every outcome, like on Earth, is caused by humans. Like say like Oglethorpe University. If James Oglethorpe didn't found our school, then we'd probably be having a different Zoom meeting for a different university. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Am I confusing you?
No, it makes sense. So basically what you're saying you used human choice because it was the easiest way to get the idea passed. But what I think I'm getting is that the daughter universes are more about potential outcomes rather than the actual outcome that exists in our universe. So just because one thing turned out a certain way in our universe, because it could have turned out a number of different ways, there exist daughter universes for the number of ways it could have turned out rather than how it did. Is that?
Yes, that's basically how it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for asking that. Do you have any other questions?
No.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for attending. I'm glad you enjoyed our presentation. Good job, Sebastian. Yeah. See you, man.
Sorry, I thought I was muted the whole time. My bad. I said I think it went well. What do you think?
Thought it went well too.
Sweet, bro. All right, man.
See you.
See you, bro.
Talk to you later.
All right, man.